may be confused, but I have a feeling the majority of people out there do not go running around looking for people to tell them what to do. I really don't assume that that's the case, and that's why I chose to talk about the subject of unneeded leaders on today's Daily Summation from Kurt's Religion and Politics. I'm your host, I'm Kurt, and today is Saturday, the 22nd of January of 2022. Welcome to everyone who's here on Rumble, on the podcast, on YouTube, on BitChute, on CloudHub, on minds.com, and on locals if you happen to be catching me there as well. Remember that Rumble is sort of my preferred platform at this point, though I get a lot of views other places as well, so I'm kind of not necessarily quite as fixed on that as I have been in the past. Subject for today, as I've said, is unneeded leaders, and I want to go ahead and go through my notes so you have some idea what it is that I'm kind of driving at with my little discussion today. When social media or some other entity offers unsolicited information on COVID or anything else, putting it on an existing post or whatever, you have to wonder if they realize they're trying to tell you they know better than you what you know and can deal with. They're also trying to say, look at me, instead of folks out there who are actual experts. I don't even count the old hands who really know as leaders. There are people who can give me advice on or information. That's what they are. They're people who can do that. They're not people who should be trying to enforce their will on anybody. I don't care if they're the most intelligent, most versed person in the world. That shouldn't be what's happening. You can make things worse when you ban or censor individuals whose opinions differ from yours, correct or not. Worse yet, to deride and smear people who are obviously long-time workers in the field you're trying to get people to believe your facts on. But even if they're wrong, those folks who put out contrary information to the party line, when somebody is talking in contradiction to what you want out there, if you're not broken in your perspective, if you can defend yourself and show how they're incorrect, why not do it instead of deplatforming them in some way, whether temporarily or permanently? Simply put, I'm not expecting you to keep dissenting opinions away. I'm expecting you to answer them. Then it's on me to decide what I choose to believe. I don't care who you think you are. I care even less, frankly, who you think I am. It may be your right to ply me with your truth. Part of that is not for you to suppress contrary or dissenting views. That's not part of that. I want to hear it all. If what you say, even part of it, seems correct to me, that will be a place to start. If you try and squash those in disagreement, you can pretty much count on me taking the time to seek out those views. If I can't get it from you, you can be sure I'll find someone who will allow me to see those things you won't let me see, you won't let me view. Want to know why alternative platforms are springing up around you? How about this for a reason? People don't trust your opinions or your openness. Either one. Okay? Your lack of openness, to be fair. That's whether we're talking about news media, social media, politicians, or frankly, pretty much anybody. Like it or not, when you try to control the flow of information to keep things you don't want heard out of the public eye, that equates to your being an unneeded leader. I don't need you to do that job for me. I'm not asking you to do that job for me. When I discuss things, I want to openly discuss things, and I don't care if you think it's misinformation or disinformation. I don't care. It doesn't matter. I don't come to your platform to hear your opinions and solely your opinions. I come to your platform to hear other people speak who may agree with you and may not, and to speak my mind. And when you take those things away from me, your platform stops being worthwhile to me. It's no longer worthwhile. And that's regardless whether it's in a public square somewhere, on a social media site, whether it's news media who decide that they're only going to give you one angle on things and not tell you why other angles are wrong in their view. I'm not interested in that. I'm just not. And I'll just tell you something. I long since came to the conclusion that pretty much everybody has a bias. They're all going to state things according to their bias. When Dan Bongino or Rachel Maddow or Don Lemon or Mark Levin or whoever else happens to say something, count on there being a bias to it. I'm not excluding the people who are right-leaning. I'm not excluding the people who are left-leaning, and I'm not saying because they're centrist, they're not opinionated or biased in their own way as well. I'm sorry, they all are. They all are. They believe what they believe, whether it's right or wrong is beside the point. They still believe what they believe, and they hold to what they hold to. You can agree with me or you can not, but it's truth. That's the truth as far as I see it at this point. So if you think that I'm going to believe one source anyway, you're already confused. But if, when I go somewhere where people who are speaking from different opinions should be able to put their stuff out there, and they're blocked, or their stuff is deleted, or they're deplatformed, or whatever it happens to be, you can bet that I'm going to go seeking that elsewhere. That's what's going to happen. And here's the thing. You say, oh, Parler's right-leaning. And I say, so what? So what? I'm not, first of all, I don't see Parler saying you can't put your stuff out there if you're left-leaning. I don't see them removing it if you're left-leaning. But secondly, and more importantly, that means I get a reprieve from the bias of somebody like Facebook, and again, I hate to name names, but I really want to be sort of specific in this case, who are left-leaning. I get both. I see the Facebook stuff. I still see it. But now I see the Parler stuff as well, where people who cannot speak on Facebook are allowed to speak on Parler. Or wherever. Gab. Whatever it is. My point is simple. There was a time when Facebook was sort of agnostic. Right? It didn't care. It didn't say, you have to have a left-leaning opinion. You have to have a right-leaning opinion. The party line is what matters. It didn't say any of that. People said what they wanted to say, and other people looked at it, and either they said that's rubbish or that's not. Some people were gullible. They accepted things that were not true. Some people didn't accept things that were true. But the fact of the matter is people got to speak their mind, and that was that. And that was all that was really needed. I'm not looking for you to run me around by the nose. Okay? I'm not looking for that. If you can't provide a platform, and you're a social media outlet particularly, and you can't provide a platform where I can speak my mind without you trashing me for doing so, or others can speak their mind to me without you trashing them likewise, that's a problem for me. And I don't care if it's stuff I believe or stuff I don't. I don't care. If there's somebody doing something illegal, if there's somebody doing something that's wrong, if there's somebody doing, wrong as in morally wrong, I sort of understand it. If it's illegal, I definitely understand it. You have to take care of it. But really the thing is, if people say things that are just stupid as rocks, I still don't want you to remove that content. I still don't want you doing it. I don't care if they're dumber than rocks. It doesn't matter. I don't care if they're the smartest individual or the dumbest. I want to see what they have to say so that I can make up my own mind. I'm not asking you for you to lead me around by my nose ring. I'm not doing it. Don't have a nose ring, so that would be kind of hard for you. I'm not asking for you to put reins on me and lead me around by those either. I don't need unneeded leaders. I don't need more leaders. Got enough of those. Got too many of those in many instances. I don't need them. Stop trying to do that. This has kind of been my rant for the day on the Daily Summation from Kurt's Religion and Politics. I'm your host, I'm Kurt, and today is Saturday, the 22nd of January of 2022. That means tomorrow will be Sunday, the 23rd of January of 2022. Today is that end of the Sabbath at sunset today, I guess, sundown today. Tomorrow will be the beginning of the Christian week. Thank you, welcome to. But thank you to everyone who's here on Rumble, on the podcast, on YouTube, on BitChute, on CloudHub, on minds.com, on Locals, or wherever else you happen to be catching me today. Remember, Rumble is my preferred platform. You can give me a boxing glove or a rumble on Rumble if you choose to do so. You can give me a plus or a minus on Rumble as a positive or negative feedback. Wherever you have like or dislike type of feedbacks, you can do that on any of the other platforms that I'm found on. And of course, you can always comment on my content if comments are available. And if I put the stuff out there, regardless whether or not I do, I will try to find what you've had to say about that and figure out what I need to do about that, which may include replying. Subject for today has been unneeded leaders. Tomorrow we're going to talk on gay pride, and I want to talk on that in a way that I think unfortunately some people are going to be kind of triggered by, so I'm going to warn you in advance. It's coming. Be ready. But we're going to talk about that tomorrow. Hopefully you're doing well today, and hopefully everything is going well for you, and hopefully we will see you again on Sunday's edition of the Daily Summation from Kurt's Religion and Politics. The speaker on this edition of the Daily Summation is Kurt Schubert. This podcast was recorded on Saturday, the 22nd of January of 2022. The Daily Summation is created for Kurt's Religion and Politics. Thanks for watching this edition of the Daily Summation from Kurt's Religion and Politics. I hope you found it entertaining or instructional, or maybe both. If you want to see more from me, you can go to blogs.kpschubert.com. That's blogs.kpschubert.com. I am on Twitter, Parler, and Minds.com. My handle on each of those is @kpschubert. That's @kpschubert. I have a Rumble and a YouTube channel. They are the Kurt's Religion and Politics channels on Rumble and YouTube. I have a Facebook page. The Facebook page is Kurt's Religion and Politics as well. I am on Patreon. If you want to support me, that's one of the better places you can do that. And you will find me at Kurt's Religion and Politics on Patreon. I have a podcast. The podcast is podcasts with an S. .kpschubert.com. That's podcasts.kpschubert.com. I think you should be able to find me with relative ease on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Spotify as well. The best way I find to do that is to look for Kurt's Religion and Politics. You can try to use the Daily Summation. I find that it doesn't work as well as a general rule, but you can always try that. I'm glad to have you aboard today, and hopefully we will see you again tomorrow.